This is On Second Thought, episode 342, and powered by Hook'em.com. I've been looking forward to this one all week long. Detroit Free Press columnist Sean Windsor will join us later to talk about Saturday's top 10 showdown between the Texas Longhorns and the Michigan Wolverines. But first, we have Longhorn royalty in our midst. All-American linebacker Derrick Johnson, All-American tackle Justin Blalock, and the man who 20 seasons ago made the biggest kick in Longhorn history, Dusty Mangum, shut down the Rose Bowl, sent the Michigan Wolverines back to Ann Arbor with an L. He's with us. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Man, awesome. It's
Doing
awesome.
well.
Awesome.
Yep, doing great, man.
Man,
I
that's
said,
Doing
hey,
great.
good.
Blaylock's not tall enough to be an offensive tackle. He's a guard.
He was
Yeah,
interchangeable, though.
figure that out.
I tell you what, Frosty Rucker just like, man, every time he hears Justin Blaylock's name, he just gets sick to his stomach because he sealed him. That was it. That was it. He said he
People
said
overlook you,
he
you
said he
either
tried
show.
to Forrest Gump his way to catch VY, and he just just couldn't get there. But Dusty, man, that 2005 Rose Bowl is the greatest win in Texas history. But yeah, 2000. I mean, the 2005 Rose Bowl, but the 2004 season ended with the most iconic kick in the history of the school. How many times over these last 20 years have you been asked about that kick?
A lot. It never gets old. I can talk about it all day long. Goosebumps come back. You'll see the highlights on social media, or I see it on ESPNU or something like that, a replay of the game. And it's fun to show my kids, hey, that's daddy right there. Look, that's daddy. Um, and they don't believe it. They're like, what? No, that can't be you. So, no, it's a lot of fun to bring back memories, right? And obviously playing um, great athletes, great people like Derrick and Justin here. It was a lot of fun. Great time in my life, and it was good to kind of end it on that note. It's perfect.
I know that was your last football play, and you never top that. I mean, that's like John Elway win that Super Bowl, he retires. Um, how did your life change? I mean, you became probably the second most popular, maybe third. DJ was still sticking around. VY DJ, but you're in the top three or four most popular guys on campus in the weeks after that game. How did your life change?
Well, I got to do some autograph opportunities at the co-op, which was a lot of fun. I got to be in the store, people lined up for autograph, signed a lot of footballs, things like that. You always made a joke that if I would have missed the kick, I would either have to move to Oklahoma or Michigan. So they would love me there, right? So, but no, it was, yeah, it was great. I mean, even now I talk about it. People, even at work, they're like, "Wait, I've heard that name before." Oh, I know who you are,
Yeah.
right? So, even now, so it's a lot of fun. Even though it's 20 years ago, I mean, Justin, Derrick, it feels like yesterday. We were out there running around, Derrick K. Royal. So, a lot of fun.
DJ, you're around the program a lot, and I know the Big Bang Blaylock's been back. When you guys are at these alumni gigs, they do it up. They know how to do it up at Texas, and it's a brotherhood there. And all the great players come through the door, and Vince walks in, and Jamal Charles and Colt, and some of the greatest to ever do it, yourself included. But when Dusty Mangum walks in, I mean,
Hey,
he's the only guy that can walk in and say, "Hey, I did a walk off in the Rose Bowl," and for you, that was your last college football game. How gratifying is it to you, and do you see that energy when they see Dusty Mangum?
well, absolutely, man. I mean, that's one thing. I know we all have different talents and whatnot, different positions, but football kind of levels us off. You only get, we see the work that we put in and the brotherhood that we built over the years, especially while we were in college, and to have that respect for Dusty. We're all. I mean, it's kicker's a hard job, man. It's a freaking hard job. You're it's a lonely job. You know, it's like, hey, it's a hero or a zero, and everybody's doing all this jumping, running, blocking, tackling, and they doing this. And then it's like it comes down to Dusty. It's like Dusty, like let's make it happen. And everybody's, trying to stay out of his way before he goes on the field, just so we don't distract him. But Dusty handled himself well, and legendary moment. So, very grateful.
Well, man, he's like that Maytag repairman. I don't know. You guys are young. They used to have that commercial about washing machines, and the Maytag washing machines never went out fixed. So the repairman was a lonely dude, So, Justin, when you think about winning a national championship, that kick was kind of a springboard to greater things to come. And y'all had a special season in 04, down 35-7 at home to Oklahoma State. You guys came back. Somehow you came back and won 56-35. That was as loud as I've ever heard DKR. That place was nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it was electrifying. But how big was that springboard kick, and how much confidence did it give you guys going into that offseason, especially after VY said, we'll be back?
Yeah, it was tremendous. Obviously, growing up as a fan of the Big 12, you didn't really imagine yourself going to play in a Rose Bowl ever, let alone two. So something like that, not even in the realm of possibility. A lot of pressure, obviously, when you say, "Hey, we'll be back next year," knowing that that's the national championship. But I really feel like we were destined for it. I mean, so many things worked in our favor. I mean, granted, we busted our butt to get them, but some of the stuff that happened. I mean, Oklahoma State, two Oklahoma State games where we're down big at halftime.
Yep.
4th and 17 up in Lawrence. All these crazy things that just never happen. If you plugged it in, your ESPN randomizer, probably a 1% chance of all these things. But somehow, we got a guy that can make magic happen. Well, two. Now we got Dusty.
Because Dusty, the pressure on you, man. You were the kicker on a juggernaut. You kicked like 50-something extra points that season, and only 24 field goal attempts in your last 2 seasons. So it's not like you had a whole lot of game experience kicking field goals. You guys were blowing people out a lot. So it was cake. And then here you are, and I'm a statistician, so you were never automatic. But you were a money kicker, and so I want to ask you, what was going through your mind before that kick? And then it's clear on television that Mac Brown pulls you aside and whispers something in your ear. You smiled, and then you ran out there and won the Rose Bowl. What did Mac say to you?
Yeah, it's really one of those things when you think about what do you say to someone like that that's prepping for that moment, not to put too much pressure on them, want to keep them relaxed. And he said to me, "You're the luckiest person in the world." He said, "You get to be the hero in the Rose Bowl."
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my goodness! Like to say that to someone who's ready to step out there on the biggest stage and to perform for obviously his university, his teammates, and coaches and everything like that is huge. Yeah.
DJ, what Mac just knew how to talk to people. He knew how to get the best out of his players when it was. The chips were down. Oklahoma State game. He goes in there and goes, "We're going to win the game."
Yeah.
I remember that. How comforting, because we're talking about 18 to 22-year-old kids here.
Yeah.
You guys aren't grown men yet at this point. How comforting was it to have a guy like that that just kind of understood how to reach the best parts of his players and get the most out of them?
Well, he always had a knack for just bringing the best out of his players, being able to give you confidence, even when it came to recruiting. My mom was trying to get me to commit early just because Mac was on him, boom,
The
boom,
mamas,
boom.
man.
So,
the mamas loved him.
He just, I still even remember, just to go back to the Oklahoma State at halftime. we're down, we're getting momentum. We're down 35-14 at this time. And he's like, hey, we're going to win. They're not going to score again. We're going to go out here and boom, boom. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. We can do it, So it was one of those things where when you have a special coach like that, he brings the best. That's one thing, man. Don't get me wrong. You got to have players to win games and do special things. But you got to have a coach to really bring it up out you and to get that extra 10%, right? It's not enough to be a great player and do all this hard work or whatnot. But when you can add a coach to that magnitude of that moment and to make you better and make us better, he was like a second father to most of us, especially away from home, which made a big difference. And when he got the best out of all of us and won a bunch of games.
Justin, he assembled such a great staff, man. I think about the conversations over the years with Dwayne Aquina and Greg Davis and Mac Porter, Daryl Drake, rest in peace, Coach Drake, Bruce Chambers. He just had so many great coaches, and he was the Pied Piper. He didn't have to do a whole lot. He just wanted to make sure that everybody was ready. And what do you remember most about your relationships with those coaches and then the brotherhood that you had in the locker room with the other guys?
Yeah, kind of like we stated already, they really knew how to get the most out of you. They were really, ahead of their time. They would have fit right in with like today's landscape of, building guys up, not dog cussing guys all the time. Really focus on positivity. I mean, granted, if you messed up real bad, you're going to get it. But for the most part, really, really positive, uplifting. We're going to go do, X, Y, Z. These guys can't stop us. And I mean, we all know that, trickle down economics doesn't work, but trickle down confidence, that stuff works. It starts up from Mac.
Wow.
It kind of filters down through all the assistant coaches, everyone that's, auxiliary to the program. And we just, soaked it all up. So by the time we walked out in the field, felt like we were, 10 foot tall. He just did an amazing job acquiring guys that, knew their stuff, got some of the best coaching, frankly, I ever had there. And guys that, worked well together. Surely they had arguments behind closed doors, but it was like a family. Like, hey, we're not going to do this in front of the kids. So, we always presented a united front in the locker room, and that really obviously paid dividends for us.
I got to ask you, Dusty, when we all walked into that Rose Bowl, this was a first for Texas. And I don't know, I've asked guys over the years, but I'm going to ask y'all here. I felt, I'm a member of the media, but I felt like an interloper at that game because the Rose Bowl people were not happy with the BCS. They wanted their Big Ten Pac-12 matchup, and they were not happy that these country boys from Texas were in Pasadena, mucking up the works. Did you guys feel that tension in that game? And because Michigan has played in many a Rose Bowl. I mean, it's always Michigan or USC against Ohio State or somebody like that. Did y'all feel that tension, and what were the conversations like being in the Rose Bowl for the first time in school history?
Yeah, I think it helped. I think there was a little feeling of we need to prove ourselves, right? We need to show everyone what Texas is all about. We're on this stage now, right? This is the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. Let's show them what Texas is all about. So I think it helped us, right? Provided even extra motivation that we already had, being able to make it to a top bowl game like that. I mean, everybody dreams, even as little kids, playing in the Rose Bowl, right? Which I think is great. So I think just extra motivation for us.
And at that time, just to add to that, really, speaking of my tender at UT, from 01, 02, '03, we felt like we felt like we belonged in the BCS Bowl, and we finally got there. So that was kind of like, hey, y'all not stopping us now. Like we here to stay. Like that was my feeling going into there. Of course, we had something to prove, but we felt very confident saying, hey, we finally got here. They, the polls or whatever, the voters, they trusted, Texas can make it happen. But we've always had the talent, like through the years. '01, '02, I'm speaking of, when we were there, '01, '02, '03, we've had the talent. But '04 actually just segued our way to winning national championship. So, yep.
So I got a little story for you guys. I'll be brief. So I'm out there and we're at the Beverly Hilton, which, man, I missed those road trips. We're staying at the Beverly Hilton, ran into Peter Falk Colombo, was at the bar. I mean, in a trench coat. And so my boss calls and he goes, do you want to go down and cover the Holiday Bowl? Because Holiday Bowl was earlier that week. And it was California, Cal versus Texas Tech. And so Aaron Rodgers had been ripping Mac on national radio, on national TV for politicking for BCS votes. And so, Texas gets the gig. And so we get down there and I'm in the lunch line and I'm with a coworker and I go, man, it's going to be a great game. And the guy behind me was a West Coast guy. He goes, what are you smoking? I go, what do you mean? He goes, Cal's going to kill Texas Tech. I go, have you seen Texas Tech's offense? They're not running pro style. You haven't seen what they're about to do.
Yeah.
So 45-31 Tech over Aaron Rodgers and Marshawn Lynch. Yeah. And so after the game, we go into the Cal presser, and my coworker goes, Aaron, do you regret those comments you made about Mac Brown politicking for votes? And Aaron Rodgers goes, I'm not going to answer that question. Next question. He barked at me. We walk out of there. I looked at the guy, goes, we'll never hear from him again. That guy's not going to make it.
Oh, man.
That's how smart I was. That's how smart I was.
Hey, you were right about the game, but you
right about the game. I'll take that 1 out of 2. I'll take that 1 out of 2. Guys, before we get out of here, what do y'all think about I'm going to start with you, Dusty Mangum. What do y'all think about the 2024 Texas Longhorns? There is so much hype around this team, especially after they beat Alabama last year and came within 12 yards of getting to the national title game, which they would have beat Michigan. Michigan wouldn't have been able to run it against those big uglies. Washington was just a bad matchup. But what do you think about the 2024 Longhorns? Are they going to meet this hype, Dusty?
Yeah, I think when you look at it, everybody likes the hype machine, right? It's fun. But what I do see is I see it matching the hype, right, or even greater. First and foremost, we are Texas. Like DJ already said, we always have the talent. But I like what Sark has done over the years, the program that he has. You can see there's discipline. Again, you can see that everyone is on board with what we're trying to do. Right? Everybody's on a mission. So I'm excited. I'm excited about obviously what we did in the first game. Obviously, Sark said, hey, we got some things to work on. Absolutely. We always do every game. I'm excited about this weekend and, of course, the rest of the season.
DJ, you've been going to practices. You were there in the spring. They call you Coach Johnson. They call you Coach Johnson. When you're not out and about fighting illiteracy with the Derrick Johnson Defend the Dream Foundation, you're at football practice, or you're with your 6 kids. You're busy. Dude, you were so busy. How do you find time? What have you seen in those practices?
Oh man, just the ability to stay focused. I really think they're on a mission, and credit to Sark. Sark's done a heck of a job. Just what Mangum said. You just gotta give your hats off to just the mindset. It's hard trying to get that many people on the same page, moving in the same direction, and Sark has done it. He has lifted this city up when it comes to the Longhorn football team, and he's jumped in the transfer portal. He's got some guys here. He's got some. We got all the pieces that we need to make it happen this year, and it'll be a tough task going to. We'll be tested for the first time this year early, kind of like last year. We tested when they went to Alabama, which is a tough place to play. It's going to be the same way going to Michigan, but we got the team, we got the players, and the coaching staff. So I'm looking for us to play very well. I'll be surprised if we don't play well.
Big Bank, they got an offensive line that's going to be competing for the Joe Moore Award. I mean, Kelvin Banks and Will Campbell from LSU. Those are two best left tackles in the game. Jake Majors, big time. Cam Williams, DJ Campbell, Hayden Connor, just a lot of beef, and they're experienced. How important is it going to be for that offensive line to establish itself early in that game and to keep the deputy from Fansville, Quinn Ewers, clean?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it's good to see us getting back to the old ways. Big guys up front, able to lean on people and kind of impose your will in the game. It's tremendously important going into a hostile situation like it's going to be Saturday. You're going to need to take the crowd out of the game early. They can make a difference. Obviously we didn't play Michigan at Michigan, but I've seen enough in football to know that that place can alter your game plan.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not able to communicate, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to have any success. And they're extremely talented. Don't get that twisted for 1 second. Just because they lost a couple pieces, they're like us of the North, kind of. So we're going to need to come out, establish the run, set up, play action, get big plays. I mean, we all know the formula, but it's incredibly important to get that going, to have success early. I think that's the biggest thing you need. And, these type of big time, blue blood powerhouse matchups, because they're going to come out swinging as well. But like DJ said, we got the mindset to not, read our own press clippings and get complacent. The biggest battle of this year, is going to be with ourselves, because so much is expected of us. People are just kissing your butt all over campus.
Yeah.
Doing the right things, doing what you're supposed to do, trusting the process. I know everyone's probably sick of hearing it, but these are the things that make winners. So you have to, like DJ said, go out and play when the time comes. I hope we run the ball 50 times. That's unrealistic.
You won't.
Maybe 20.
20 to 30 is happening, though. 20 to 30 is happening. Guys,
I always say, if you can run the ball 30 times in the game,
mm-hmm.
your odds of winning go up through the roof.
I believe that. Guys, it's been such a pleasure, man. It's great. It's always great to look back, and I can't believe it's been that long. Dusty Mangum still has hair, and we all look like, man, it's a family show, so I'll save those jokes. DJ knows I can get a little nasty. I got to keep my black job. I don't know about y'all, so a pleasure having you guys. Texas, Michigan, it's 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Fox, big noon Saturday at the Big House, 107,000 fans, and then about 250 Texas fans are going to be there. So Texas going to win the game, guys. Yeah. Texas going to win this game. I'm sorry. Yeah. They're going to win this game. I'm wrong a lot, but I'm not wrong about this one. Mm-hmm. But guys, hey, thanks for joining us, and we look forward. Hopefully, we can chop it up again sometime in the future. But thanks so much for joining us. I had a blast doing this.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
That's great. Good seeing y'all.
All right.
Talk to you later.